everybody should know that it is how difficult to follow such a thumbing session by Dr. Ganapathy. And it's amazing, sir. It's actually, it was like you started the session with saying that, you will convince everyone, saying that it is a disservice if you don't take the technology to the next level. And actually, I'm happy that he has taken a little bit more time on the session, because he has taken some of the, what I'm going to talk is going to be in line with what Dr. Ganapathy has also talked about it, adopting the technology. So this is going to be like, he talked about how the hospital without no patients. But I'm just talking about whatever the patients might be needing to go to the hospital, like surgeries. I'm just talking about OR solutions. So with that, I'm talking about the Stryker on behalf of Stryker. So every day what we do is towards the benefit of the healthcare and then the betterment of the healthcare. So this is what we stand for. Together with our customer, we are driven to make healthcare better. And we just deliver quite a lot of innovative solutions which are needed for the challenging environment for the healthcare professionals to serve the patients better. And this is done by our 4 DNA values, what we call it as integrity and accountability, people and performance. This helps us to do how we are delivering our mission. So I'm just, my topic is about talking on how the OR integration can help efficiency, safety, and productivity. So let me just talk about how OR environment looks like. I'm sure everybody would know how demanding environment OR could be. Like Da Vinci and cameras, O-arms, C-arms, and camera systems, laparoscopic camera system, endoscopy systems, and you would have lights, tables, patients, instrumentations, and you have monitors around, and then quite a lot of nurses going around, and then instrumentation, everything. And I'm sure this is going to be very, very challenging situations, and then patients being in the middle of everything. How everything is going to interact and then integrate is going to be the, my topic, which I would be taking into. So let me just take OR integration, about, it started with about 1990s when the MIS technologies and then which started growing and things like it. So probably this, in the context of, OR room, integration is about how all these parameters like patient information, medical equipment, audio, video, visuals, and building automation, whatever is there in the OR and then OR light and everything, how interacts with a single system and make the efficiency better. So and then with rapidly changing the environment and the technologies, and then the ever-changing standards, and then challenging requirements for the patient standards, and everything rather really demands a lot from the technology. So this could be the, like I just connect the words what Dr. Ganapathy said, unlearn, relearn, and then retrain. So actually technology is all about what we have been doing all along. Let's unlearn, and then relearn, and then retrain for the efficiency. So this integration started getting momentum in 1990s when MIS system, MIS minimally invasive surgery started, when everyone has to do the surgery with their, with the images around, and with image-guided surgeries, when it is also started gaining momentum, and also it has increased the momentum with technology in AV started growing, and then when we have now 8K, 4K, and then Ultra HD and things like it, which would have really made that integration possible. And then also demanding needs for a medical record systems because of medical legal, and then how you have to maintain all the records, recordings of all the surgeries, and then documentation, everything has been really being helpful for integration to grow. Actually speaking, integration is all about having one system to interact with entire gamuts of the equipments which are in the OR. So if you see here that what we had earlier in the first slide, so much gamuts of equipments, but how they can interact with that with one single instrumentation is called, what we call as an integration. And the need for integration. Why should we have the integration? I think I don't have to say that with the kind of factors which has been already talked during the day. And then probably I can just repeat it once again. The efficiency, definitely the workflow increases. And then the ergonomics, which helps the ease of use in the OR equipments, and then nursing staff appropriately, mobility can be very, very easier. And equipment protection, which is going to be very, very important because cables are lifted from the OR. The floor, there is no floor, there will not be any cable around in the OR floor. Possibly many of the, you would have seen that many of the, tripping, falling, which could have happened just because of cables around all along, and then, it can make a lot of issues. And then prevent connection damages while the surgeon is doing a surgery, somebody trips off and then video goes off. It becomes very, very challenging. Probably that can be avoided. And reduce equipment loss. And connectivity, like Dr. Ganapathy said, all I am going to talk about connectivity within the OR and then connectivity outside the OR to the world. So how you can communicate within the surgery, within the OR, how you can take the support, or otherwise how you can support others within the OR environment. And then marketing, I would just say that best of the talents would be probably working in these kind of environment. And I just would like to play a video, because with Stryker, whatever I have talked about integration, just a prelude, but we have a system called iSuite, which integration of Stryker. So let me just present that video.
Defining the goal is simple. It's better healthcare. But today's healthcare landscape can be the definition of complexity. Stryker understands that this complexity creates a moving target when planning new clinical environments, and that taking aim at this target comes with challenges and risks. Optimizing to create an efficient patient care environment means adapting to rapidly changing technologies, diverse patient needs, and ever-changing standards, all complicated pieces. Completing this complex picture requires a trusted leader, a leader rooted in innovation, a leader rich in experience, a leader known for expertise and complete accountability. Stryker. Together with our customers, we are driven to make healthcare better. This begins with the iSuite, your customized, efficient, seamlessly integrated operating room. Our team is committed to providing you with support through project design, engineering, installation, and beyond, so your team can better connect with patients and focus on their care. We will help you design, equip, and connect your OR. From initial planning and design to installing world-class equipment and innovative technologies, we will connect your OR to the world. Backed by decades of experience and a team of dedicated professionals, we've successfully integrated more than 10,000 operating rooms. Join us and transform your OR with the iSuite today.
Actually, this summit comes in the occasion of when we are celebrating our 25 years of iSuite integration in the whole world. We have, as you've seen in the video, about more than 10,000 ORs have been already integrated, and we have, in India is more than around 250 integrations we could complete it, and then we have done a small study with iSuite, how it really, although we say that efficiency, productivity, and safety, and then there has to be a parameters in which we have to say that. So if you see that it reduces the trips and falls by 93%, which really matters a lot inside the critical surgeries, and then productivity increases by 0.8 hours. During the surgery, because of all the presets and everything, which are, they don't have to be, keep setting it during the surgery, it's all preset. And then efficiency increases by 11 minutes, which is very, very important when the surgical volume is very high in the hospital. It is actually, if I have to convert it into, actual numbers, as a surgery, if about in the hospital, about 5-6 surgeries are happening in a day, probably they can do to 6 to 7 surgeries. And then iSuite capabilities, what and all it, iSuite, the integration does it. So the video routing, like what Dr. Ganapathy talked about, this is what video routing which could be possible from inside the OT to the outside world, and then vice versa. And then presets. Every surgeon, whenever they are about in a multi-specialty hospital, about too many specialities will be doing a surgery within the same OR. Probably every time they do not have to keep setting every equipment which are used by the surgeon. So it all done by one single button. And then device controls, and then surgical timeouts, and then multiple PC controls and video calls can be made. And then there are different levels of integrations. We talk about basic connectivity in level 1, which gives equipment connectivity, workflow, management, video routing, and doctor presets, surgical timeouts, which is very important during the when WHO is talking about everything has to be checked before even starting the surgery. So, and voice and device controls, which is called automation. And then we have a premium connectivity, which talks intra OP and then video streaming outside the world, and also for the conference centers and all those things you can do that. And then post-op you can edit, archive, share everything whatever you have done during the surgery. And then it's the most advanced. What it has is that data mediator which is being inside, and then it has a bidirectional with hospital electronic medical record integration, and then DICOM support and media management, and modular and open architecture. Actually, these are all, if the integration has to be beginning with, even with the most eminent architectures are being here, so you would have known that it starts from the, even during the planning stage, because most of the stakeholder has to talk each other, because everyone would have their own specific interest inside the OT, how to have these equipments, and then the need for the, specialty surgeries. So if you see that it really complicated discussions would be going around how to place these things. So Stryker comes in between to have the support to integrate all these departments to have a solution provider. If I have to say, we have a project team which which talks with the hospital planning team from the beginning, with the setting up of the space and everything, how the equipments has to be placed for having effective integration. And then we have a cutting-edge technology which is called HoloLens now. In association with Microsoft, we have started this, which will actually give you a 3D effect. You will be able to see your OT virtually before even having this starting to construct. And then you can change the equipment positions according to the specifics what you needed. So this is what we are doing it with, by design with Stryker, which we have started doing it. And then equipment management. So with the kind of a portfolio product which we have, so probably we can integrate with iSuite, and then the improved workflow, which has been a repetition what point I said, and then access to the packs, and then and enhanced visualization, whatever. We have gone up to the level of 8x8 picture in the screen, which is about over 55 inches screen, which will give you about 8 pictures can be discussed at the same time with so many surgeons or assistants being inside. So everybody would have their own perception about how to interpret those videos or images to enhance the patient benefit and increase efficiency with one touch button, which I have told you. And we have vendor relationship which we can able to integrate with multiple setups. Yeah, I've just given you some of the examples here, whether it be neuro OR, neurosuite, or endosuite. And then OR integration, that once again to how to connect. They reduce the number of steps what everyone does in the OR, and then stay connected with your facility, like what we are talking about video routing, and then communication outside the world, and then bidirectional within the hospital to have the packs and everything. I have a small video to see how effectively which can transform with this integration within the hospital with a small surgical procedure.
Applying device presets.
Device control. Lights, camera, action.
Light source activated. Camera white balance complete. Insufflator activated.
Device control. Clarity, activate. Device control. Capture image. Cystic duct. Device control. Insufflator. High flow.
Insufflator high flow.
It's closing time.
Light source standing by. Applying device presets.
So you have just seen that how effective integration can work in that. So how seamlessly surgery can perform with less of resources within the OR, and then effectively having the surgery done. There are applications which you have seen this. So patient's record can be directly put it into that. So there is no mistakes in that. Surgical surgeon preferences preset. Everything inside the OR can be connected to that one single, whether it is a table, whether it is a light, whether it is a, ablation, orthopump, or lab systems and everything. And then surgical timeout, which is very, very important in the current situation with, you ensuring that every surgery is properly happen on the correct patients with all the environment has been taken care. And then voice control, which reduces the resources within the OR, so thereby, everything can be done by the surgeon. And then access to a handheld, either it can be broadcasted or it can be shown to the patient, like you have seen that. So this can be I have showed you that, video streaming, which can be multi-directional, from the OR to the conference rooms. And there are such situations, if you can just go through that. So, if a surgeon who's doing a surgery, junior surgeon is doing a surgery, but a senior surgeon is outside, then probably he can take a help from that, with iPad applications being there. And then, multiple images which are being there to have a consultation with someone else who needs to step into the surgery. And also resident surgeon who is performing similarly, like I've just told you, HOD being helpful from outside. And there are complex complication which has been seen, so he wanted to show to the students. Probably you can have that done with outside. So with this, thank you very much. So looking forward for any questions, if at all, anything on the integration. It's like what Dr. Ganapathy said. It can start from a smaller value to the highest value.
It cannot be 1 lakh. I'm quite sure about
Definitely not. It starts from the like level 1, level 2, level 3. So level 1 could start with somewhere around 30-35 lakhs, and then level 2 can go up to around 50-55 lakhs, and then it depends on then what BOQ we are going to put it across. What are the I've just told you only a small portion. There's so much of thing can be done which can be added up to make it like best of the integrated work.
And how many installations in India now?
We have more than around 250 installations. Across the world, we have about 10,000.
250?
250, yeah. It's now quite a lot of government institutions. Sorry?
In Gujarat,
we have in Kiran Hospital, we have in, I think, Sterling? I think Kiran Hospital is the only place we have.
In Surat?
But I think quite a few Apollo Hospital and then Fortis and where there is a two OTs have to interact with each other when the donor and then recipient, and then also in many of the government institutions are up, having it. Wonderful. Yes, that is the.
I think it's the best in the country.
Absolutely, yes.
Advanced in the Asia.
I told you about this. I told you about 8x8, 55-inch monitor is that place actually. That's the only place where we could have that 55-inch 8x8, 8 megapixel display. Sir.
Can we convert existing OT into integration?
Yes. Yes.
And what are the requirements?
If it is in the beginning when you are planning itself, so then all the connectivities and everything can be put in our system itself. Like, there is no wire or cable which are around in that. So it has to be actually put it across in the walls. Before you put it across the, modular OT, it will be very, very easier. Or otherwise, still we can have done, but probably we have to close sometimes that your OT and then you have to plan much ahead of time. Because we don't want any of those cables and then wires to go around all the places. So we'll have to just implant within the walls, and then all the things has to come through our booms and then arms.
Is there any constraint regarding the equipment, different models, different companies?
We can, any of the images and packs can be, if there is a DICOM, if it is then we can always integrate it, because it is just a video signal. It is 18 by 18. 18 inputs it takes, 18 outputs it can. So 18 of the images and then video routings can be done through with this. It can, output also is 18. So actually speaking, in any of the none of the places we could have fullest potentially being taken to 18 by 18. So it is a future ready.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can you do that integration for an ophthalmic OT also, ophthalmology?
Yes. It is not very specific to it depends on the equipments and it depends on the whatever the images which are going to come in, we can do that.
The thing is the thing which you said that all floor wirings, etc. can be removed, which is very essential. Yeah.
Definitely, sir, yes.
Thank you.